Good morning, Wolfpack. This is Wolf Roshi, RoshiJoe.com. We breed and feed you fantasy wolves. Sorry, I'm a little flustered right now. As I was going live, there's like 10 million things to break. At 10:45, I was ready to hit it, and then Watson got ruled out. All these different rankings had to get changed right at the bit. So I appreciate your patience. We usually try to get live with 15 minutes to spare up before 11 a.m., but I'm doing good now. It's published through. The rankings are in, and it's time to answer all your sit-start questions. My man, of course, to help us do that is CJ. How are we doing today, brother?
Pretty good. Catching up on the old Toy Story game from across the pond right now.
That wild broadcast over there. Yeah, not quite a game to enjoy. So hopefully you can come in with us and give you something more enjoyable for your viewing pleasure than this awful London fest. But good to see the Jags dominating for their home crowd over there
as long as Bijan scores for me, I'll be happy. Close out a nice morning parlay. Give me something to play with the rest of the
day. Yeah, there you go. That would be nice and juicy way to start the day. But thank you again so much for choosing to spend your Sunday mornings with us. Again, sorry for that delay. Had to get all the ranking updates that came in a whirlwind right before hitting live. So thank you for your patience. Let's dive right into the news. It does look like actually we'll start right away with a super chat. As always, you can cut the line with those super chats, and we will hit Mr. Ryan Hemmings from across the pond, I believe. Yes, sending in the yards, always supporting the show. Thank you so much. It is so appreciated. We must have had a record of super chats last week, CJ. I mean, that was those are the records you love to break. That was awesome. So thank you guys so much for your generosity last Sunday. Thank you again so much, Ryan, for kicking us off with your support. Good way to cut the line is that super chat. We'll dive right in. Let's hear what we got.
So Ryan Hemmings with the old 2 pounds. PPR, pick one of these: Chark, JSN, Sky, Quentin Johnston, or Charbonnet.
Great question. A lot of intrigue to all these guys. If Dalton was playing, it would have been Chark, no brainer. Toss him in, let it rip. I don't know how I feel about Chark with Bryce Young. They didn't do anything special in their one game together so far this year. But we did see 11 targets, 4 catches last week, 86 yards and a touchdown, barely missing another one on a deep crosser as well. So Chark has a lot of upside in that juicy matchup against Minnesota. And to me, it comes down to him or Quentin Johnston. You can't trust JSN, literally the lowest yards per route run in the NFL right now, A.2.4. And it's not his fault. It's just that you're competing with 2 monsters and Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. To me, he seems like more of a pure handcuff at this point. One you have to hold because he is so talented, but its standalone value just isn't going to be there. Maybe they just scheme him and get him involved, but not this week. I don't trust any Chiefs receivers other than Travis Kelce. Very intrigued to see what Quentin Johnston does, but he did only run 25% of the routes last week, even with Mike Williams banged up. So that becomes trickier as well. I think I'm leaning Chark here, but Johnston does intrigue me against a bad Raiders secondary. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I was going to say Chark, and then Quentin Johnston, there is so much upside there, and he just I don't know. I feel really good about him today, even though I'm not a huge fan of the player, and he's not just going to come in and beat Mike Williams, obviously. But I think if you kind of want some more excitement in your flex, I'd go Quentin Johnston.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, it's playing in the background. Hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah, so again, it's tricky. Yeah, you kind of assess that pretty well there. With Quentin Johnston, he is juicy, but it's so tough to trust what his role is going to be. But, man, what a great spot to make your debut against that Raiders secondary. I do lean Chark, even with Bryce Young being a little sketchier. That's kind of where I would roll today. Just such a good matchup against Minnesota. I think they're going to need to chase points all day. So let us know what you decide, Ryan. Thank you so much again for the super chat there. I believe that's all we've got so far for super chats. So I will dive straight into our news here today as we get started again. Sorry we're late. If you can do us a solid, give us that thumbs up, share, retweets, all that. We usually have about 40 of us in here, but I think because of the late start, we are struggling right now with in terms of total views and questions. So get us bumped up here, Wolfpack. It'd mean the world if you could help us out there. So starting in quarterback, that's where we kind of got our delay this morning. Was a bunch of quarterback news breaking right before we got live. So let's just dive straight in. We've got Joe Burrow. He's removed from the injury report. So the one positive here, Burrow and also Anthony Richardson, both off injury reports respectively. And I think both should be in lineups Burrow at trending in the right direction all last week, played threw the ball 49 times after the game, said it felt good, as good as he's felt so far this year. So you got to trust Burrow against the Tennessee secondary, one of the worst in the leagues. Him, Chase, awesome stacks in DFS as well, because I think Burrow, a lot of people still a little hesitant for. I think this is the week we get that real Bengals passing attack. Finally, T. Higgins should be back in lineups. I know he's been a little sketchy, but you got to trust him in this type of spot. And Anthony Richardson, also a top 7 quarterback play for me this week. Konami, QB cheat code style upside, 18 points and a quarter the last time he was out. I love that Rams and Colts game in DFS quite a bit today. A lot of good, interesting plays on both sides there. Watson, who has not been throwing all week, did just officially get ruled out. So rookie time, DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson starting in his place. He lit up the entire preseason. I honestly can't wait to see what this looks like because Watson's been so atrocious for the majority of this year. The only time he looked decent was facing Tennessee, the worst secondary in the league. So I'm very intrigued to see how DTR looks today. If he ends up ultimately dominating, I wouldn't be shocked. They have some outs out of Watson's contract this offseason if there's certain incentives and playing time and different things. So DTR thrives today. I wouldn't be stunned if he makes this more than a 1 week just rental, but he definitely could be started in super flex leagues, 2 QB leagues. Let me know if you have any questions on that front. He's a fringe top 20 guy with that mobility there as well, and in a decent potential matchup. The Ravens banged up in the secondary as well. Derek Carr shockingly playing today, sprained AC joint. That's painful as all hell. So I'm shocked to see that he's going, but ultimately he'll be out there. I don't know that this is necessarily a good thing. I was excited to see Jameis, more of the gunslinger. I know Dennis Allen's kind of reined him in there, but I wanted revenge game. Jameis not going to get it, unfortunately, at least early on, but could always end up taking over. So Carr will be in there. I won't want to trust him. For example, I'd rather have DTR in my lineup. I might even rather go to Aiden O'Connell with the last QB note as well. Jimmy Garoppolo did practice on Friday, but did not ultimately get cleared. So Aiden O'Connell, the rookie, another guy similar to DTR, lit up the preseason. He's in an even better spot. The Chargers can have the most points to quarterbacks. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he ended up going crazy. He had 482 yards and 3 scores in those playoff appearances and just looked poised, in command of the offense. I'm very excited to see what this rookie does today. So both those guys in 2 QB super flex leagues, I think worth stashes. I don't know that either will become full-time starters, but I'd be very intrigued to see how they both play. Between DTR and Aiden O'Connell, CJ, do you have a preference? Like if you were a desperation stream 2 QB league type of situation, which one would you go?
I've always been a DTR guy. I think for a stream, definitely DTR. Just his legs he's such a good runner, great passer. He kind of has it all. But long term, I almost feel like Aiden O'Connell could win this job.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Awful. I know they're not going to ever bench Watson. They have too much money tied into him. And even if DTR does ball out, I think it will still be Watson's job no matter what once he's healthy. But the Raiders, they suck. Garoppolo's been awful. And you might as well go with the rookie. I mean, if he does pretty well today, I don't see why he wouldn't give the job back.
Yeah. I agree completely. So we will see here. I do think, and in terms of how does it impact the surrounding players as well, I think this is significantly better than if Brian Hoyer was playing, gross downtrodden veteran. So I think I bumped Adams 2 spots down, below Jamar Chase now with Burrow fully cleared in that Tennessee matchup. But he's still a top 6 wide receiver play for me against that horrendous Chargers secondary. Jacoby Myers, a phenomenal play as well this week. Everything just goes to those guys and Josh Jacobs. It's crazy. I saw a stat. It was in the 3 games or the 2 games that those 3 have all been available. I think 95 of 102 touches have gone to just those 3 players. So or 95 opportunities rather, targets, that. So that it really is concentrated as can be. And that's what we love in fantasy. So if you're looking for late game stacks, Aiden O'Connell could potentially be that lower owned guy that gets it done for you. In terms of running back news, Austin Ekeler, doubtful, unlikely to play. I don't think you're seeing him. Similar to Saquon as well, also now doubtful. I would not be keeping him in my flex spot unless you had Breida and you really wanted to wait it out, okay. But I don't think it's worth Darius Slayton or your Wan'Dale Robinson, who I'm very intrigued to stash Wan'Dale right now. 5 targets on 9 routes last week was very impressive. But I don't want to have to start one of these Giants receivers, even in a good spot against the Seahawks this week. So I would have another plan. I'm starting, for example, Brian Robinson this week, and I'm not thrilled about it. I think the Eagles D-line's going to swallow him up. I don't think the game flow is going to be in his favor, but I don't want to wait it out right now for him. So both Ekeler and Saquon doubtful this week. Unless you have Breida, you don't really want to wait that thing out till Monday night in the Saquon front. Jonathan Taylor appears to be ready to make his return, which is great news. Ian Rapsheet also saying they're opening the 21-day practice window. So he would be as eligible as early as this week. So we'll see if he gets traded. We'll see if he's in there, if he's going to play for the Colts. But as we tweeted, we tweeted out all last week, wrote about it last week as well. Phenomenal buy low. If you can somehow get, Jonathan Taylor for pennies right now because his owner's, 0-3, 1-2 and panicking, as good. Zach Moss has looked like a true bona fide RB1 in this offense, averaging over 20 fantasy points per game. They're running, the 5th most plays in the NFL right now under Shane Steichen. I'm just so impressed with what this Colts offense is. So should he return and he's in that scheme, I think he's got top 5 upside the rest of the year. Should he get traded to Miami, still a rumored destination, even though Mostert's the RB1 in fantasy. But, Taylor there would be that much crazier. So at this point, if Taylor's owner is panicking, they need some win-now pieces. If you want to move like a Kyron Williams and a Tank Dell for JT or something of that nature. I know that's a lot. I love those two guys. They're both on my team, but I would probably consider something of that nature. That'd probably be a little too much, but you got to get the vibes I'm saying, 2 usable pieces for a guy that could be a true top, number 1 ranked running back potentially when he comes back, if he's playing in this offense or gets traded to the Dolphins, something of that nature. Miles Sanders was questionable for this week with his groin injury. He is expected to play, though. It's Chuba Hubbard, good handcuff to still have. He has some value there. If anything happens with this groin, continues to flare up, but it looks like Sanders will be in. And he's a nice, top 25 running back, whatever. He's nothing sexy, but should get it done on volume alone. He actually leads the running backs in target share so far, Duckhead told me, which is nuts. And then Ravens running backs, Gus Edwards is in. He's good to go. Justice Hill is also back. Just a gross backfield against the Browns. No reason to target that one at all. It's going to be hideous. So no thank you. And Eli Mitchell not expected to play, so we probably are going to get 100% of the snaps. Christian McCaffrey again. So it's against the Cardinals as well. So just a dominant. McCaffrey's going to dominate, but his
total yards on Prize Picks I think are 135 and a half.
Over. It's still over too, which is nuts. My God, he's going to smash today. Devonta Smith not on the injury report. He's going to play. Similarly, Jalen Waddle practice in full, confirmed. That game, CJ, Bills Dolphins today. Holy hell, that's going to be something special. So I cannot
can't
wait.
believe that's in the 1 o'clock time slot. There's garbage at 4 o'clock too. Doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Garbage at 4 o'clock. Chiefs Jets with Zach freaking Wilson for prime time. If only we could flex things already and have those games swap, because that would be an awesome primetime game. I can't wait though. Playoff styles, shootout feel to that one. Obviously, you're starting your Dolphins. A big question will be Devon Achane. I mispronounce it every which way. But
at this point, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's Achane is what he decided to go by. Achane would have been so much better though. Come on, Achane would have been sick. But if you have a question on Devon Achane, let us know. There was a report this morning from Schefter. They're going to increase his workload. He already had 18 touches last week. They need the explosiveness against against the Bills. So I can't wait for that game. I'm bumping him up to your top 24 running back for me. What do you think for this one? This is one of my brother's questions. Aiyuk in the flex or Devon Achane? I think it's a good measuring stick. I actually have to consider this one. Normally the
Aiyuk.
I said Aiyuk as well, but it's so tricky to bench Achane right now. After that explosion last week.
I know, and they did say they were going to get him even more involved today.
I know.
I don't know. He's like one of those running backs though that he's either going to suck or put up 25 points. I feel like there's no in between with him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer to the 25 points. They're going to Mike McDaniels. I know we're spending a little time on him, and I know we're going to get a lot of questions. I already see a few on Devon Achane in there. He's the main thing I tweet out, blow all your fab, and then people, let's blow Raheem Mostert's backfield. You're an idiot for recommending this. I got called irresponsible by somebody. This is irresponsible. Have some freaking fun in your life for the first of all. Irresponsible to describe fab spending? Get a freaking life. But still, it's not about, I 100% agree, this is Mostert's backfield. He's the running back one in fantasy. And I still love Devon Achane because they're splitting them out wide. I know Waddle will be back, but Mike McDaniels craves speed. He utilizes speed better than anybody else in the NFL. And Devon Achane, in just a limited amount of action, already has 2 of the fastest ball carriers. I think all 6 are on the Dolphins, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And like 4 of them were last week from the Dolphins as well, with Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane. So he's not going to just disappear. They're going to use him in the slot. He was a great receiver in college as well. Dynasty-wise, you've got to love that, like, this move around chess piece for Mike McDaniels. So I think he has to be in lineups today. Javonte Williams versus him. I'm bumping him ahead of Javonte at this point. It's a tricky thing you're right. Like, it could be risky, but I'm all in on playing it. But let's move back on to the wide receivers off this Dolphins game. Just can't wait for that one. Aiyuk is playing. Deebo also expected to play despite not practicing all week. So it makes it a little trickier. Kittle would have been an absolute smash with no Deebo. So would Aiyuk. They all are still great plays. It's against Arizona. The risk is they just destroy Arizona and don't need these guys down the stretch. So we'll have to keep monitoring that. Treylon Burks is going to be out. So D-Hop, you're already a target hog. Definitely still even more target hog upside there. Even though I don't love him, it's a decent matchup. The Bengals have not been anything special. They're worse against the run, so it's a little bit of a run funnel, but they're still not great. And then Jamison Williams, his suspension bumped down, only 4 games, so he'll be back. He'll certainly be someone we're discussing in early waiver wire later tonight. If you guys are around, me and the Truth will be live 7:30-ish, 7:45 rather, when the red zone kicks off and wraps up. Jamison Williams will be definitely talking about a lot there as an early waiver wire, probably priority at this point, 30% rostered, going to be back as early as next week. It might take a week or two for him to get his feet under him, but man, what an explosive talent returning to the NFL field. And then just a few last receiver notes here are that Marquise Brown's expected to play. And, when they're going to be chasing points, he's honestly been very impressive so far. So is Josh Dobbs. The last couple of weeks, he's looked pretty good. So I think Marquise Brown, very worthy of your wide receiver 3 consideration. Odell Beckham and Bateman are out. Already a bad matchup against the Browns. To say Flowers going to get peppered, but also tough spot. This Browns defense has been the best in the NFL so far in terms of yards allowed, points allowed, 1 offensive touchdown so far surrendered on the year. They haven't played a ton of people either, so we'll see about that. But definitely risky. Lamar getting a little bit of a bump down here. I'd rather have Anthony Richardson, for example, in my lineup today. And then Sean McVay, just an update on Cooper Kupp, expected to practice next week and could be eligible to return in week 5. The hope is that he will be out there next week. Can't wait to see how him and Puka coexist and what happens to Tutu. Definitely one of the storylines for the second half of this season will be Cooper Kupp. Could be as early as next week for you guys.
That doesn't sound that optimistic, though. It was like we hope that we can ramp him up. Like, it seemed like very wishy-washy. I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see. At minimum, it's better than no news. For a while, is Cooper Kupp even running? What's going on here? So the fact that he's at least on the field, they're ramping up his activity. Maybe it won't be as early. It could be as early as next week. Might not be just right then. But either way, at least we have some positive trends here. Not positive trends is Chase Claypool, inactive, healthy scratch today by the Bears. What a god-awful trade. 33rd overall pick for Chase Claypool. That's going to go down as one of the worst trades besides Deshaun Watson potentially at this point. And then Jonathan Mingo, questionable, unlikely to play with that concussion. So more targets for Adam Thielen and DJ Chark there. At tight end, Tyler Higbee, questionable but expected to play today. Logan Thomas removed from the injury report. An actually decent streamer against the Eagles, who are giving up the 3rd most points, it looks like, to the tight end position. And Irv Smith will be out, just more targets for those guys. And then the defense for the Chargers, completely banged up. No Joey Bosa, no Derwin James. So even more reason to, as gross as it might seem, Aiden O'Connell, not the worst desperation streamer out there. And Jordan Poyer will be out for week 4 as well. So that Dolphins passing game getting a boost with the Bills safety out. I think that's all the news I had. I want to try to get through it quick. So again, we started late today. Is there anything else break, CJ? Because it was a crazy start.
Right now, I don't have anything. We do have one super chat, and we do have someone calling in as well.
Okay, perfect. So let's hit the super chat first. Then we'll hit our call-in. I'm just going to grab my water bottle. I am over here. So
the world's biggest water bottle. So Kevin Rice is saying, with Watson out, full PPR, would you go Lockett, Madison, or Jerome Ford? For me, I would probably. Do I want to ride the hot hand of Madison after last week?
Is Akers going to be active today? That was one I was looking for. Cam Akers.
Cam Akers.
Yeah. For me, I'm leaning
wild man today doing the Vikings in my survivor pool.
Yeah, I personally kind of like Lockett in a full PPR here. Giants giving up plenty of big plays on the season. He gives you that Monday night hope factor. Lockett's still looking as good as ever. Ford does intrigue me. They might have to use the running backs more, but Hunt, I could see Hunt continuing to get more and more involved. I love Ford as a player. I'm not completely sold that his role is going to be as good as it was last week. So to me, it comes down to Lockett or Madison. And I do like Madison, especially if Akers does sit. He's been looking really, really just pedestrian all year. Madison, but the role, I mean, he's top 3 in snap share for running backs and one of the best offenses in the league as well. Carolina Panthers gave up the most points to running backs. I think they've given up 2 or more touchdowns to every single running back one they faced. So I kind of like actually just Madison. I feel like he's safe unless Akers is playing, but we haven't heard any news yet there. So gun to my head, I'm going to go Madison. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, that's who I was leaning. I don't see any news on Akers right now. Just from last week, how O'Connell said the plan was to have Akers playing this week, but it doesn't seem like they're like rushing to throw him in right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll with Madison myself.
There you go. Thank you, Kevin Rice, so much for the support. If anybody wants to come on line again, coming off a record day of super chats last week. This already a few more coming in, so thank you so much. Thanks for the trade advice by Ekeler off 0-3. Hell yeah. Thank you, Eli, for your support here. I think that's a great move. Yeah, you have the bye week coming up. He'll be ready to go. Schedule gets nice and soft when they come back.
What was the trade?
Yeah, I forget exactly what the final trade was, but he was talking about like targeting Ekeler or who he should look for. Let us know what the details were, Eli, on that trade. I remember thinking it was a home run deal for you, though. So definitely keep us posted. And thank you so much for the super chat there. All righty. Let's get back up to the top. I know our man we got a call in too. Yeah, let's pull that on in. Yeah. What's going on, Jake? How are we?
Oh, not too bad, except for this shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah, we had a little side bet for the Notre Dame game, and we all know what happened.
I love it.
If only we knew to put 11 players in, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. Good side bet. Good to see your man of your word honoring it too. I was gonna say CJ's got a friend over here in the Ohio State land, but not so much.
No.
Okay, full PPR flex position, Jerome Ford, James Conner, or Terry McLaurin.
That's a tricky one. It comes down to the running backs for me. I'm not going to go with McLaurin. Well, I mean, they're going to need to chase points too, so he's got an upside narrative. But I do really like Ford. Conner has been so reliable right now, but the 49ers matchup is just terrifying for running backs. He's still, though, he's a bull. The Cowboys last week were going to be a horrible matchup, and he goes and smashes for like 20 points. So I don't like Conner, as gross as that is. You know you're going to get 20 touches. Even in a bad game script, he's going to get dump-offs as well. I'm kind of leaning Conner, but Ford is right there for me. I don't know. What do you think, CJ?
I think with Watson out, I feel like, and with DTR in, I feel like they're just going to run the ball a million times. So I'd probably go Ford there. But Conner is right neck and neck with him. That's kind of
so I'm double checking my rankings. I do have Ford at 20 and Conner at 22. But like my gut's like saying Conner a bit, but San Fran, oh man, that's so tough. If San Fran wasn't so damn dominant, it would be an easy call. It'd be Conner on the volume that he's getting right now. But yeah, I think that's a decent call too. That they're going to need to run the ball even more. And Ford's been very impressive. Baltimore's not a great matchup either, though. Oh, this is tough. You have this in a pretzel this morning, Jake. They're like right neck to neck. I'm going gun to my head. I'm going Conner. CJ, which one do you take and gun to your head?
I'm going Ford, but if you went Conner, I'd be fine with that as well.
No clarity for you there, Jake. So Terry McLaurin's the play. He's going to go off for like a long walk right now.
It's a go Terry McLaurin.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to go burn this shirt now.
Sounds good, man. Cheers, Jake. Thanks for the call in. Oh, man. And then I don't know if Campanelli's ready for his call in or not. I know he's on the car, so I don't want him to get in an accident. But you ready for the call in, Campanelli, or not yet?
All right. So, good morning, guys. We got Deebo. What do we think of keeping him in, or do we transfer, put him down, and start a Marvin Mims?
No, you got to play Deebo. I mean, if that's your other option. And I'm intrigued by Marvin Mims. I think he's one of the better Hail Mary sleepers. They're going to apparently reports are ramping him up in practice. All he really needs is opportunity. He's leading the NFL in yards per route run, fantasy points per route. Like when he's out there, he makes plays. I can't wait to see him with an increased role. But that's all to say. It's Deebo. I mean, he's a monster. Even with Aiyuk back in, this offense can support multiple mouths. Purdy's been great. Like I'm not benching Deebo for a potential, fringe flex type of play like that. So I'm going Deebo, no doubt. What about you, CJ?
Yeah. No, I'm not getting cute there. Campanelli.
And then my last question is, how do we feel about Kamara today?
I think you can get him in. I mean,
all the forgot about that.
Yeah,
I really like him. I feel like he had a really good camp, and it's like I feel really good about him this year. I kind of wish I had him in some places.
Yeah, Underhill, one of our favorite beats. He never steams people just to steam him, and he talked about how Kamara, new trainer this offseason, looked like it was the Kamara of old in camp, was clocking at some speeds. They were doing new speed testing in camp, and he was back to like his rookie year type of speed. And Kendra has not looked good. Jamal Williams is obviously on the IR. I could see Kamara walking right into 18 to 20 touches, and the Bucs are okay. They're a pretty good run D, but Kamara doesn't really matter. He's such a move around, you do it all piece, and especially if Carr is limited today, and the AC joint is making him dump it off more, all the better for Kamara. I love Kamara today. I think he absolutely should be in lineups. I'm looking through my rankings now, and I have him at 21, and I kind of wish I had him higher. I might have to adjust that. He should be ahead of Sanders in my rankings, Brian Robinson. So, yeah, I like Kamara. All that to say is I think he's a definite play today, for sure, Campanelli. And I think Campanelli
this team makes me go nuts. Bijan just rips off 20-yard runs, and then he just sits down right away.
It's horrible. But thank you again, Campanelli, for the call-in. I like Kamara a lot. If there's a question with who to play him over, let us know as well. But, yeah, I'm a big fan of Kamara. All righty.
Rushing yard, I think it did get deleted. So Javonte Williams or Garrett Wilson. I'm leaning Williams, 10-man full PPR. And then pick two of these, Kamara, Kyron, Javonte.
Yeah, so I do like Javonte over Garrett. I on the bench, Garrett Wilson. It sucks. I hate it. It's not your fault, Garrett Wilson.
So
Over like 5 million views on that one. Not bad. Ended up doing pretty solid, but it is not his fault. It sucks, though. And the Chiefs have also been very, very good against wide receiver ones. Last year were one of the worst teams, but this year, very, very limiting. Calvin Ridley didn't do anything. So as long as Zach Wilson's at QB, if I can bench Garrett Wilson.
Whole is awesome.
What'd you say?
The Chiefs' defense as a whole is awesome.
Yeah, they really are. It's scary how good that team is when they're fully healthy and ready to go. And then you got Javonte on the other side facing the Chicago pathetic Bears over there. So I think this is a good Javonte breakout type of game. Yeah, so I go Javonte there. In terms of the three running backs, we have to pick two of them. I'd probably bench Javonte of those two. I like we talked about Kamara. I think he walks right into monster touches, full PPR, getting dump offs. Javonte's still only been about a 45% snap player and still hasn't looked fully like himself quite yet. This is probably the spot he does that. But when you have these other two options, I'd rather play them. What about you, CJ?
I'm going Javonte with the first one, and then the second one would be Kamara and Kyron.
Perfect. All righty. Thank you, rushing yard. Good question.
Rushing yard again, D-Hop or Judy. He's leaning Judy, but with Burks being out, it makes it a tough toss-up.
It is a tough toss-up with Judy. With D-Hop getting that target share. But they suck. Like, I don't want anything to do with Tannehill and those guys. So, ultimately, I would probably go Judy. Just barely missed a touchdown last week. Good matchup. I think that game, as ugly as it is, also has, sneaky shootout potential.
I was just
I'm going to go Judy over D-Hop. What about you?
I could see this game weirdly shooting out for some reason. But,
it could also be 10-3. It's probably at the highest range of outcomes of any game on the slate. But I like Judy there. What about you?
It's just the Broncos win 2-0. But, I don't want anything to do with the Titans offense. That whole offense.
I got to get my charger, by the way. But yeah.
So I'm going to go Judy there myself as well. Fatty Mateo, too many options at receiver, full PPR. I don't know how many you're asking us to pick, but DK, Puka, Tank, Thielen, Hopkins, Garrett Wilson. If you want us to rank them, I would.
I have rankings on the website. You could go through all the rankings. We're going to rank 6 people live, but Fatty Mateo, let us know how many you need. Assuming it's 3 at most, I would go Puka, I would go DK, and I would go Tank of these options. Those would be my top 3.
This is like the week. This is like the revenge week with Thielen against the Vikings, Zeke against the Cowboys, Ridley against the Falcons.
Yeah, a lot of revenge. If that's your narrative, I love it. So yeah, but I'd go Puka, then DK, then Tank is how I'd rank the top three. I
Yeah.
can't imagine you need more than that. But if you did, maybe just toss in Thielen for the revenge game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pena, who from my receiver 2 and flex, Cooper, Lockett, Jacoby, Tank, Mims, Connor, Zeke. So pick 2 of these.
I'm going. Cooper's interesting right now with the quarterback situation. This is a tough one. I mean, these guys are all very interesting. So wide receiver 2 and flex, I have a hard time benching Lockett in a good matchup against the Giants. Flex wise, I mean, I love Jacoby Myers, but Aiden O'Connell makes it a little different. I'd probably just ride Amari Cooper. Like
I was
DTR
going to say the first 2. Yeah, especially I feel like we always talk about this, how backup quarterbacks just like lock on to the receiver 1. So I could see Cooper Lockett for me.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. So yeah, we'll go the top 2 there, Juan Pena.
How do you feel about Sam Laporta?
He already played, didn't he? He played
I think you just maybe in general or rest of the season.
I love Sam Laporta. I mean, he didn't have a huge game on Thursday Night Football, but still saw solid work. I think second in targets on the team. Again, 5 catches in every game other than 1 so far. As the first rookie in ever to have 5+ catches in his first 3 games. So, yeah, I love Laporta. I think he's going to be among the most consistent tight ends. I think I have him top 6 rest of the season. Yeah, I love Sam Laporta. Do you?
Oh, yeah. I know. I'm trying to snake a trade with him to get him in Dynasty, but we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, rest of the season, he's a stud, especially how rookie tight ends never do anything. He's, like, already a top, like, tight end 1. So Juan Pena again. Do you have any faith in our Patriots today? I weirdly do. I don't know why. It's nothing to do with the Cardinals game last week.
I know it was so hideous last week, but the other 2 weeks, playing the Dolphins tough, the Eagles tough, getting an ugly win against a good Jets defense. I like them. I like the Pats. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Cowboys are the Cowboys. So.
Cowboys, coming off a tough loss, maybe they're fired up, but I kind of think the Pats will give them a tough game at minimum.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'd take the points. Jeremiah Moore starting off with a bang. I've got Monty and Ridley. Would you start Anthony Richardson or Lamar? And Gabe Davis or Miles Sanders?
There you go. Bang indeed, Jeremiah. And that, me and Truth were all on Monty on Thursday for the most part, other than for our guy Jimbo, of course. We told to play Aaron Jones over Monty, which was a horrible call. But other than that, I mean, we said Monty over Christian Watson, Monty over pretty much everyone we got. So I was so pumped. I didn't expect 33, but 2 touchdowns is always on the realm of possibilities. And then 3 was that much more beautiful. I didn't do the Thursday night takeaways, but that was going to be one of the biggest ones, was how damn good Monty looked. What a stud he is. Should have had him over Gibbs all preseason, it seems like. And people
we didn't even think about him for some reason, and Jamal Williams scored 17 touchdowns last year.
Well, no, we loved Montgomery before they drafted Gibbs. Like remember Keith wrote about him, all my best ball drafts. And even in best ball, like I have way more Montgomery than I do Gibbs. Gibbs going in that 3rd, 4th round range. I love Monty where he's going like round 7 or 8. So I actually ended up, even though I didn't rank them that way, I ended up with a ton of Montgomery compared to Gibbs. So I'm pumped with it. But back to Jeremiah's question. You guys don't care about me. You care about your questions. I actually do go Anthony Richardson over Lamar here with most of his receivers banged up. Anthony in a good matchup against the Rams here. I think that game has very, very good potential to shoot out. So I like Anthony Richardson there. Am I crazy to bench Lamar for Anthony Richardson, CJ?
No. I'm completely. We're both kind of the same when it comes to Lamar. So.
Yeah. Yes.
And then would you start Daddy or Miles Sanders?
I like Daddy. Any pieces of that game, like give me that shootout, baby. It's kind of like last week with the Chargers and Vikes. It's like, how does that game not go nuts? I guess the defenses are a little bit better than those 2 defenses from last week, but I want all the Davis here, and I don't love Sanders as a player, especially when Bryce Young's at QB. So yeah, I go the Daddy there. What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what about Daddy or Nico Collins?
I go Daddy still. Yeah, I love. Just give me that game.
My flex.
Give me that game. So yeah, we'll go Anthony Richardson. We'll go Gabe Davis for you, Jeremiah.
Yeah. And then Menelakis, another beautiful Sunday. Lockett or Aiyuk. And then am I crazy to want to go Achane over Stevenson.
Perfect. It looks like we did just get a super chat, so let's get our guy Charlie here, and then we'll hit that super chat. Lockett or Aiyuk? What do you think there? That's a tough one. Like very, very similar players.
I like rolling with Aiyuk. I just feel comfortable with him for some reason.
Me too. I mean, he had 35 in week 1, even with Deebo active. Looked like he was on the path to another big game and then got hurt in week 2. I love Aiyuk. Yeah, I'm rolling Aiyuk over Lockett myself too. I'm just checking my ranking. Yep, I do have that in my ranking. Just wanted to make sure. I'm going to put Aiyuk above Amari Cooper at this point as well. I feel really good about him today. And then, so I go Aiyuk over Lockett. And you're not crazy at all, Charlie. I actually have Achane above Stevenson I'm pushing it through right now. I updated some of my running back rankings, especially with this news that his role's going up and that Zeke's going to be starting for the Pats as well. It seems like those trending, Stevenson all trending down and Achane all wheels up. So I like going Achane over Stevenson regardless, and especially with these new reports too. So what about you, CJ?
Yeah, these reports scare me, but it's also Belichick's such a weirdo that like, oh, Zeke is going to get starting snaps, and then it's just the Stevenson show. So,
Yeah.
Who knows? But I'd feel more comfortable, I think, going with Stevenson. Even that doesn't really make sense, but I just feel that.
Go Achane. Have some fun in your life. Stevenson is just a gross Pats offense. Give me anything in the Dolphins that's going to have a meaningful role, and his role's increasing right now. It's Achane, baby. Wheels up. Let's find that. It's a starred. I think Super Chat's automatically started.
I got it.
Derek Just, another Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. Always supporting the show.
Derek Just, thank you for the 2. Pick one full PPR, Thielen, Pickens, or Sutton. I'm going the revenge game right here.
So which one do you bench? Oh, you have to pick one. Oh, man. I still love Pickens without Deontay. Houston secondary, they played okay last week, but they're down 3 starters still. And I think they're going to put up their points. I really like the Houston team in general, just like a scrappy team that can put up points and love to throw. I'm going Pickens of these 3. Sutton's also in that great spot against, against the Bears. One of the bottom 3 matchups. So good. Bottom 3 against receivers. So it's a great spot for him. He could have had 2 touchdowns last week. Dropped a 60-yard bomb. He's had a real role. These are all really good options, Derek. I'm really a big fan of all of them this week, but I like Pickens the most. You said you like the revenge game Thielen the most? Even
so
with Bryce Young?
I think Bryce Young stinks, but
he does stink.
Thielen's been so good recently, but
he has been. I mean, 14 targets and 11 catches last week were insane, but that was with Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket. The Red Rifle.
That's very true. Yeah, I guess I'll go Pickens, but I'll go Pickens, Thielen, Sutton. I still see Thielen scoring though.
I do. I mean, I like the Thielen call, and they're going to probably try to force him that. Like he did say, when revenge game narratives, like this one was, he had mentioned circling it and wanting to prove he still had it, and he has been proving it and revived in that role in the slot there with Carolina. If it was Andy Dalton at quarterback, I think I would actually agree with you and go Thielen here. But I just love Pickens, the player. I love that you saw 10 targets last week. They finally are scheming him some more easy design looks. And I think Houston it doesn't have much of a secondary. So I'm a big fan of Pickens today. Looks like we also got another super chat. Mr. Fella, another big supporter of the site, always tossing in the super chats. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Let's dive into this.
3 good receivers here. Mike Thomas, Addison, or Daddy. Pick one of these full PPR.
I got to go Daddy. I mean, big games is when Gabe shows up. I love the shootout. He probably has the biggest risk of disappearing here, but of the other 2, Addison still hasn't overtaken KJ Osborne for a full-time role. Still love Addison. Love the player. He scored in 2 of his 3 games so far. But I just the game environment. It really comes down to these guys are all similarly ranked for me. Thomas is the lowest. He's good. He's seen about 25% target share on the year. He looks like he's not my MT of old, but he's serviceable. Carlton Davis has already said, I'm on you all day. I'm going to lock you up. And Carlton Davis is legit. And he's gotten the best of Mike Thomas, even when Mike Thomas was elite. So I don't really like Mike Thomas of all these. To me, it's Gabe Davis. I go in that game environment. I want back and forth, booming touchdowns is what they're going to need. So I like the Daddy. What about you, CJ?
Well, my boy Addison.
Oh, yeah?
They're all kind of Addison and Gabe are basically the same player. I mean, with Addison getting fewer snaps, but yeah, I'm just gonna ride the hot hand with Addison, and I feel like that game also could shoot out a little bit. Mike Thomas, I like him obviously as a player, but I just can't. I don't know about that car situation. AC joint and just coming back like less than a week later. I'd probably go Addison and Gabe Thomas.
Nah, go Gabe. Go Gabe. I have him plus 12 ECR. I have him at 28 this week. That game's going to go bananas, and Gabe Davis is going to be a big part of that. So I'm going Daddy. Good luck, fella. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, everybody, so far with your super chat. So generous. It really does go a long way supporting the site like that. So if you want to cut the line, feel free to do that. It'd be so appreciated. But a free way to support your boys is that thumbs up button, is like, shares, retweets, all that good stuff. Getting us out in front of more people would mean the world. So thank you guys so much for your support so far. All right, we left off on Tunes, right? Yeah. Sorry, I clicked it. My bad. There we go.
Tunes needs a RB2 receiver 3 and a flex. Swift, Ford, Judy, Tank, Addison, Rice. And do you still roll out Higgins?
So for RB2, it's definitely Swift for me. I love DeAndre Swift. I mean, behind that line, they're running him, of the outside zone stuff. He looks phenomenal. And I think they're going to try to get him in the end zone today as well. So I really like Swift, even though it's a good Washington D front. It's just so fun as an ex-lineman. But you watch how this team plays, and their blocking is very few people probably care about that, but just how beautiful the pulls are, the double teams, and then getting off to the second level. Like, you'll see Kelsey getting his hat on safeties a lot of time because they're so deep down the field. I just love watching it. It's so fun to watch, and Swift has been such a great fit there. So I love Swift today. I'm definitely doing him. And I probably would go Ford for the flex there. Although we got some good options here. Tank Dell is my favorite for sure for the wide receiver 3 spot. To me, it comes down to Ford versus Addison for the flex. I think I'm going to go Jerome Ford, but it's really close. What about you, CJ? So I'm going Swift, Tank Dell for the 3, and then Ford for the flex. But that, to me, it comes down to Ford or Addison as like the last piece there.
Yeah, no, I like that exactly. With me, of course, it would be between Addison and Tank for the receiver 3 spot. But
you think it's a little closer for Tank versus Addison, huh? I mean, I'm so, you know me, I'm Tank. I'm always Tank.
Yeah, of course. Tank just looks awesome. He's now in 2 receiver sets. He's playing a ton more than Addison is. So yeah, I'm rolling right with you. With Swift, Tank, Ford. I'll take the starting running back over the receiver.
There we go. And yes, you do still roll out T. Higgins, especially against Tennessee. I think this is a good get right spot for all your Bengals. I just clicked one Pena side. You got
Pena for my second league. Who for my flex? Elijah, Jalen Warren, Hunter Henry, Gainwell, Dalvin Cook.
I would go.
Kind of gross.
That is really gross. I'm not going Eli Moore. I would probably go Jalen Warren here. He seems to be trending towards taking this backfield over. Houston's a bad run D. Not quite as bad as they were last year, but it really, for me, it's Hunter Henry or it's Warren. I don't trust Gainwell with Swift really taking that backfield over now. Hunter Henry was really good for the first 2 weeks, but I still like Warren a bit more there. I hate doing double tight ends if I don't have to.
Yeah, no. Tunes, Tua or Cousins?
I got to go Tua in that game. I mean, that's tough because Cousins has just been ripping the rock. But I think this is a week where they do try to just get Madison going on the ground if they get up early. And Tua in that shootout style game, I mean, that game could just go ballistic. So what do you think the game – because I could also see like divisional teams end up playing each other tougher and the defenses end up showing up more than people expect. Like, do you think that game goes completely bonkers, the Dolphins versus the Bills, or do you think it's more of a defensive, like in-division battle type of thing?
No, I know what you mean with that, but these teams, they don't – I feel like the Bills, we think that they're like really strong on defense, and I don't think they are. Whenever they play someone good, they usually let up points.
And Jordan Poyer too. Like that's a good defender back there. Taking the safety out.
If you were to bet on this game, who would you pick? I feel like I'm going to stay away from it, but I just like there's so. I think this is like the passing of the torch almost, even though the Bills have been like the most overrated team for the last 2 years. But
how many points do you get with Miami? They're like 3-point?
Let me see.
But yeah, I'm going to it regardless. But yeah, let me know on that one.
I think it's like 2.5 or 2.5. I think.
It's 2.5. I think I take Miami today. I think Miami just wins. Even I might take them outright. But man, I can't wait for that one. That's going to be such a matchup of the year so far for sure.
Pena, do you want Hunter Henry or Parham Jr.?
I go Hunter Henry. Much more consistent volume, playing the big slot role. I love Parham Jr. as like a touchdown. He's a fun like first touchdown scorer type of guy where you get huge odds and he'll just like one catch, 3-yard touchdown. Like he does nothing else other than score touchdowns. He's a good like punt, but you don't need to punt if you have Hunter Henry. He's a good option. He's a top 7 play at tight end.
What we got? Yeah, I'm with you there. Tunes, Kamara, Rashad White, full PPR.
I'm going right back to Kamara at this point. Like I know White's gotten the volume, but the only time he's really done anything is against the Bears, and everybody does stuff against the Bears. So I trust Kamara here. I'm excited to see what he looks like. That gives you a little jolt. Like I got Kamara today. Like I can't wait to see. That's exciting. Whereas Rashad White's like, can't wait to watch 20 touches go right into the lineman's ass and 20 yards on 15 touches. It's gross. So I want nothing to do with that.
I wish I had Kamara. I don't have him anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't end up with a ton of Kamara either. I have some in best ball, but none in my regular leagues. It just, especially with how bad Kendra looked too. Like I don't think Kendra is going to be anything this year. He looked bad in the preseason. He looked bad this week. I think people want to keep making him a thing. I was excited to see if he looked any decent last week. He just didn't. And we saw what David Montgomery did to that Green Bay defense. So the matchup was there for him. It just didn't pan out.
I wonder if that's giving Kamara a little boost too, since he was like kind of talking shit in the preseason about how he can do everything that he can do.
Yes, exactly.
Sebastian Alex, do I start Mike Thomas over DJ Moore? I have Judy at the flex and Monty at the other flex who went off.
Oh, love that you had Monty. And I think you super chat us, if I'm not mistaken, Sebastian, on Thursday asking if we get Monty in there. And hell yeah, that's right. I know somebody did. I think it was you, but I can't remember. I would go DJ Moore. I know we're going to get questions about him every week, and I think it's rightfully deserving given how bad that offense has looked. But we just saw the Broncos give up 70 points. And if Fields is ever going to get it done, this would be it. And even if Fields doesn't do great, like DJ Moore, they are such a bad tackling team, that Broncos defense. So many of those touchdowns were just screens that Achane just ran through the entire defense. So I could see DJ Moore having himself one of those like patented rips 60-yard down the field screens. I feel pretty good about DJ Moore today. So I go DJ Moore over Michael Thomas pretty easily, Smash.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that earlier. I'm not fully confident in Carr being healthy today. I'm going DJ Moore myself.
Yeah. Perfect.
Mr. Trace Saracinco. What's up, Wolfpack? Hope all is good. I have a super flex question. Here's Derek Carr in the flex, but he's questionable. I really like that kid. O'Connell, I don't know what he's typing on today.
Yeah, this is a tough question here, Mr. Trace Saracinco, broken into like 4 parts to it. I would rather have O'Connell than Bryce Young or Dobbs, though. Yes, I'm with you. I thought he looked great this preseason. Gets the Chargers today. Full weapons cabinet ready for him to go. I kind of like this O'Connell kid. I'm with you. We've seen 4 weeks of Bryce Young, and you're looking at like a 15-point ceiling right now with him. Especially after how good Dalton looked. Like that tells me Bryce Young just isn't. At least right now, he's not him. He's not at all. So I like O'Connell. And Dobbs has actually been sneaky good in fantasy too. He brings some mobility, so I can see that. But the 49ers, I never want to target that. So I'm going O'Connell, getting that matchup against the Chargers. I think that's juicy.
Yeah.
All right. You great? Sweet.
Yep. Lee Kressner, what's up, boys? Here we are again. Half PPR Ramondre or Mixon, and then Josh Kelly or Lockett.
I go Mixon there.
Kelly annoys me so much, and I have him in a league and I'm going to bench him today, and I know he's going to go off.
Oh yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. You play him for 2 weeks in a row. You finally send him to the bench, or even worse, you cut him, and then your opponent picks him up, and then he just goes absolutely banana land on you. That's exactly who he is. It's like Corey Davis of old at receiver. I know in a different position, but that's exactly what happened to me one year. So yeah, Kelly's definitely going to go off, and I won't have him. I'm not going to recommend him ever again. He's a slug. It's just so crazy that a running back could be getting like 80% of the snaps and touches in that offense and suck. It's such a good offense. He should be good. The matchup's great against the Raiders today too. But I still, I'm with you. I'm going Lockett for sure. I cannot trust Josh Kelly. I'm going Mixon over Ramondre, despite that tough Tennessee matchup. Mixon can get it done in more ways than one. He's 80% of the snaps in an offense. I just think he's going to get better and better, especially starting this week with Burrow. I think this is a good coming back game for him. So
Yeah.
I'm going to Mixon and Lockett here. What about you?
Yeah, the Ramondre thing is going to be kind of gross, it seems. Mixon, complete bell cow, so I'm going Mixon too. And then, as I said, I'm benching Kelly today, so he's probably going to have like 25 points, but I'm going.
It really is. It's exactly how many times at fantasy football, the world's just a simulation because we see this every season. It's always some bum running back that gets steamed up for 2 weeks in a row because he's getting great usage and a good offense. Everyone gets fed up because they realize he's a bum running back. And then as soon as he gets to the bench, he goes off. We know it's going to happen. I still can't trust Josh Kelly. I can't do that to myself 3 weeks in a row. So he'll only go off if you bench him too. If you put him in your lineup, he's still going to suck for you. So you just bench him and watch him get 25. It's how it goes. But yeah, Lockett's a great option. Good shootout. That game's going to be fun on Monday night, I think. So go Mixon, Lockett there.
Yep, I'm with you. Augustus Forster. Good morning, Wolf Nation.
I love the name change for Austin over here, hiding from Bella, perhaps.
Oh yeah. Achane, Flowers, or Rashad White, full PPR.
Let's go Achane. I'm going to make sure I have Achane above Rashad White because I 100% feel that way. And I think I do. But yeah, I'm going Achane. Flowers is somewhat intriguing with no other weapons there at wide receiver for the
But do you
that
think
team.
Denzel Ward just follows him around and shuts him down?
Yeah, probably. That's what worries me a little bit. And that Browns D has been so good. Flowers is very interesting just because he had 10 targets in 2 games so far this year and no one else to compete with. And so full PPR, I mean, that's pretty nice, but I can't bench Achane today. I'm so into this game, so into him as a player, his role in this offense. I'm bumping him ahead of Miles Sanders right now. I'm putting Achane up at running back 20 right now. So I'm all in on him this week. So yeah, I'm going him. I have him well ahead of Rashad White, and Flowers is intriguing, but go with that game. Just go with that game.
Yeah, I'm in. I'd rank it as how he wrote it. Tim Gray, where do I sit between Tank, Achane, or Ramondre? Full PPR.
Oh, I'm sitting Ramondre. I mean, he just hasn't looked great. His role hasn't been great, and I think the Zeke scheming to get Zeke the revenge touches actually makes sense to me. So I'm benching Ramondre. What about you?
Yeah, I think so.
I
know the line does suck, but doesn't he seem like he's more hesitant? Like he's always dancing around the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. And he's running more of the routes, but 7% target share last week. That's just not gonna, last year he was getting 20%. That's when he was afloat. And I looked at, and that's kind of a BOB staple. He doesn't really throw to running backs that often. And I don't know why. No. It often becomes the tight ends, though, is what BOB has historically peppered. So, yeah, I'm benching Ramondre here. He's just the least exciting offense right now, least exciting player, honestly, of this list. Give me the 2 rookies, the electric rookies, baby. Keep riding that factory.
These rookies are really good.
This is a fun class. This is great.
Jose Sierra.
I will say, I'm not I'm still new to Dynasty, and I think that it's a weakness in many ways because I don't have the experience. But I had Tank Dell's my 5th ranked rookie receiver in this class. I had Achane as a top 10 pick, a first rounder. I wanted to go him over Kincaid. I think you took Achane in our league, right? A pick or 2 later. I love both of these kids, and they're panning out. I was much higher on them than ECR, so maybe I am a dynasty guy. Who knows?
Hey, maybe you're a college guy. Jose Sierra, Wolf, PPR, choose 3 of these. Henry, Achane, White, Cook.
So we got to bench one.
Yeah.
Not benching Henry. They're a bad run Cincy. I think they're the number 1 in terms of yards allowed before contact, so their line is just getting blown up. They're a good pass rush line, but they give gaping holes in the defense. So I think Henry in a good spot today. Scared of the fact that he's been outsnapped by Tajay 2 out of 3 games, but you got to roll the big dog in a good matchup here. And then I like Achane. I'm benching Rashad White is what it all comes down to. I feel great about Achane, and I love James Cook. You're not benching him. So yeah, Rashad White's the easy bench. What'd you say?
It's a good stable he has.
Yeah, that's a great stable. But yeah, I'm getting rid of Rashad White there for sure.
I'm gonna kill this Falcons team, by the way. They're driving me bananas. Andre, sup fellas, pick 2 of these half PPR. Pittman, Mostert, Ford. So sit one of those.
Pittman, Mostert, Ford. I mean, I like them all, but I think I'm sitting Ford. I love Pittman. 30% target share here. He's been an absolute hog. And then Mostert, how could you ever bench him at this point? So yeah, Ford's the easy bench there. As much as I like him, it's an easy bench compared to those other two. And then, I mean, Njoku sucks. Like, he's really bad. You see, like, did he burn his face or something crazy this week?
Yeah, he came in today with like some crazy mask on his face from like Jason or something.
I mean, does that bump him up the rankings? I mean,
he looked like an absolute badass. I wish we could post the photo.
I mean, that's a little more intriguing there. But DTR, like, I don't know what to make of that. And I kind of like Logan Thomas. Eagles have been a good matchup for wide receivers. They're targeting as the Commanders as a team are top 5 in targets to tight ends. So I like Logan Thomas, actually. I really do as a streamer today. And I don't trust Njoku at all. So I'm going Logan Thomas.
Yeah, that burn thing is sketchy to me. I can't have a burn guy.
What is going on there? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that does sketch me out for sure. We got a super chat we got to dive into. Let's pull that up. It goes right to
Sarno at the very bottom.
Craig Sarno, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for the super chat. Again, Wolfpack, if you want to support your boys, super chat is such a very appreciated. It goes such a long way. So thank you so much, and you get to cut the line. So let's hear what we got for Sarno.
Sorry, Drake London just almost had an unbelievable catch. Sarno, sup fellas, happy PPR, pick one of these. Sutton, Pickens, Flowers, or Tank.
Just one, too. Man, this is tough. I think I like Pickens the most of this list, especially in half PPR, more touchdown upside. They're all very, very ranked similarly for me, Sarno. They all have upside. Tank Dell is like, I've been riding the Tank wave, and like, if I had Pickens, would I bench Tank? I don't know. I'm just in love with Tank Dell. Like, I've been on him since day one, so I think maybe I'm a little biased because like it's a prediction that's really hitting for me. I'm looking at my rankings now. So I have Pickens 23, Zay Flowers 24, Tank Dell 26. I mean, they are all neck and neck for me. And then obviously Sutton has a great matchup too. So he can't even, they're all in the same tier. He's a few below those guys, but clearly they're all neck and neck to me. I do like Pickens. I guess I like Pickens the most here. But it's tough. It's really tough. I just keep wanting to bump Tank higher and higher. I'm going to go Pickens. What do you think, CJ?
That's tough. I feel like we're getting the same exact players for all these questions.
I know.
And I don't even know if I'm being consistent with them at this point. But it's between Tank and Pickens. I don't know. The big play was a pick. The big play is Flowers
for this week.
I don't like Zay Flowers this week.
Just an ugly situation.
And that, like, those games are always just so low scoring and gross. So I would, I think I'll go Pickens with you, but Tank is right there. It's another coin flip.
It really, it doesn't feel great, and I do like Pickens. I really do. It's just like benching Tank Dell does not feel good right now. I don't know. I kind of want to just say Tank Dell and just keep riding that wave, baby. You know what? I am. I'm going to my rankings. I'm bumping Pickens below Tank Dell. And I don't know if this was also Toons who had that question about like Pickens or Tank. I'm going Tank. Like I'm not benching him. I am riding that wave. He's my guy. He hasn't disappointed me yet. I've started him both the weeks that he's been a starter, and he's gotten me 16 and 23 points, and could have had 2 touchdowns in both those games. I'm going Tank. I'm all in. I'm on the Tank train. I'm not getting off it. So yeah, you know what? We're going Tanked out. That's what I'm riding him. And I would, you know what? I would even do it even if I had Pickens on my team. I would bench him for Tank. And that's crazy because I love Pickens this week. I really do. But I'm all in on Tank. I'm bumping him up the rankings ahead of Pickens now. All right, let's go. Let's ride them. Are you?
I'll ride with you. I was gonna do the coin flip, but I like it.
All right.
I completely lost where we are. I've been trying to figure it out for a minute.
We were at Augustus, Tim Gray, Andres, and then we had Kevin Rice in Super Chat.
Is it the Daniel Dong?
Yes, we're right here.
Danny Dongs.
Danny Dongs.
PPR, pick 2 of these: Judy, Myers, or Achane. I'm benching Myers myself, although he is right there.
No, I'm benching Judy. I love Myers. I know it's Aiden O'Connell, so it's a little bit different, but Myers 12 targets at least in all the games he's played so far this year. Gets that Chargers defense. They are so bad. Now no Derwin James or Joey Bosa, too. The two only good players on their defense. I'm going Myers. I'm going Myers, and I'm going Achane here. I'm benching Judy.
All right. I'm benching Myers myself, but
No, ride Myers, baby.
Stephen Barry, Wolf, you trust Deebo, or should I roll out with Tank Dell PPR?
Especially full PPR with all that volume he's getting to. All right, back to the question. Jonathan Mingo is officially out, so I had to update and make sure he's out of my rankings. Just as I say, I will never bench Tank Dell. Oh, this is tough. I've got to go Deebo, though. I'm such a Deebo guy, always have been. I'm going Deebo over Tank. I guess that's where I draw the line. As much as I love Tank Dell, I would go Deebo. Would you as well?
No, I'm going Deebo.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we can't get too silly. All in one show, Russell or Lamar?
I would go Russell's. That sucks. I know he's got 300 back-to-back games, but like the matchup certainly is with Russell. Obviously, with Chicago versus the Browns. I mean, it's not even close. The matchup's definitely in Russell's favor. But this game does feel horrible, doesn't it? The Lamar, Brown, it just feels like a 10-9, like gross slugfest. But Lamar coming off 2 rushing touchdowns, I got to go Lamar. I can't bench Lamar for Russell. Your fantasy locker room would be revolting against you if you put in Russell Wilson over Lamar. I think I'm going Lamar. What about you?
Yeah, there's no matchup that I like for Russell Wilson.
No, yeah, exactly. He's just
all in one show. Bench one of these. Jesus Christ. Diggs, Olave, Waddle, Puka.
I got to bench Waddle. Coming off the concussion, as much as I want to have pieces of that game, you're not benching Diggs, you're not benching Olave, and I'm still all in on Puka. Against the Colts too, a top 5 matchup, one of the worst secondaries in the league. I'm benching Waddle here. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I think so. I was gonna say Olave with the car question, but
the thing
I
with
also
Olave,
do want some of the Dolphins game.
I know I want every piece of it I can, but I'm not. Olave's been so good. He's got 20 PPR points in every week other than one, and he still hasn't scored a touchdown because he's just getting so much volume. And normally I'd say, the car thing, it sketches me out. But the fact that they're playing Olave so much in the slot this year, about 40% of the snaps have been slot, which I think he had 5% the year before. A lot of those layup targets are just getting designed for him. I know Kamara's back, so some of that might go to Kamara this week too, but I cannot bench Olave. No way. Waddle, we're so begrudgingly because I don't ever want to bench Waddle, but I mean, come on. You see if you got to swing a trade. I guess, Nakua could end up face planting once Cup comes back, but I think Nakua continues to be a beast. So see if you can swing a move for Waddle and upgrade somewhere else on one show. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's the one for me to bench. Are you going Olave, Waddle, Nakua? Who are you benching?
I think Olave, and I hate doing that.
Man, tough one.
That's tough. I almost feel like you can't go wrong here, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. You can be more right, but I really think all these guys are going to be good.
Although Puka, it depends. Oh, it is full PPR. I was gonna say Puka definitely is the lowest touchdown chance, but
yeah, but full PPR, against the Colts secondary today. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. We'll go with Wolf.
Yeah, bench Waddle.
just shut your eyes and bench one of them. Should I start CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson?
Oh, I got to go Anthony Richardson there. And I love Stroud, but Richardson's a few tiers above him, in my opinion, just the rushing upside. Yeah,
and there was just a massive Celtics trade that just happened 2 seconds ago. We have so many.
The Celtics?
Yeah,
did they get Drew Holiday?
Rob Williams and Brogdon for Drew Holiday.
No shit. Did it actually happen?
Yeah, it just happened.
No way. Oh, okay. I know it's a football show, but that's awesome. I am in love with that deal. And I love Brogdon and Rob, but come on, Holiday? Okay. Let's go. Oh, wow. Okay. That is sick. Wow. Okay. Back to your questions, but man, I would love to talk about that.
I hate giving away Rob Williams, but it's all right. You have to give things up to get good things.
He's always hurt. And I mean, that's sexy. Drew Holiday. Woo. All righty. Welcome to Boston, baby. That's sick.
Y2J, happy Sunday, fellas.
Let's go, indeed. LFG, yes.
Shade 721, standard scoring, Javante or Ford? I'm going Ford here.
I would go Ford too. Yeah, it's really close though. I mean, this could be the Javante blow up week, but until I see him play more than half the snaps, I if I can see it, then believe it. I'd rather obviously you don't want to miss the breakout game either, but Ford's a good option to have to kind of wait and see with Javante for now. So yeah, I like Ford there. It's close though. Standard PPR is Ford's a little bit more of a PPR guy because of the pass catching. I do think Javante probably has the better the touchdown against Chicago. No, I kind of like Javante actually. Now that I see that standard scoring, they're so close, I think it flips a little bit because the missing out in the passing down doesn't actually hurt him much in standard. I'm going to flip it and going to go Javante with the standard scoring.
I'm sticking with Ford. Y2J, PPR with Jimmy G out. Do I roll with Myers the flex or Lockett?
I would go Lockett here. I kind of probably would like Lockett anyways, but especially with the QB questions, I do like O'Connell. I think all those guys are still going to be good. But yeah, I think you go Lockett over Myers anyways. So yeah, I stick with Lockett there.
I'm with you. Russo, Aiyuk, Higgins, Achane, Elijah Moore, Gabe Davis. Pick 2 of these.
I'm gonna go. So it's the first 3. Yeah, it's between the first 3. As much as I love the daddy today, those guys are quite above consistently. I don't know. I love Achane. I'm probably going the 2 receivers though, Aiyuk and Higgins. Higgins gets Tennessee, big bounce back spot for him. So hard to bench Achane right now, but I think I do for Higgins and Aiyuk. What about you?
I'm going the first 2. Aiyuk, Higgins.
Yeah. Higgins, Aiyuk.
Higgins has been a big feature in the workload report. He seems like every week it's right at the top of he should be doing better. So
yeah, exactly. I think he's very, very due.
Richard Hernandez, full PPR, need a flex. Mike Evans, Pierce, or Mike Thomas?
You gotta go Mike Evans. I know the Lattimore risk, ejection risk. He picks a fight first play of the game and he's gone. That would suck. But
actually, no, I completely forgot about that. The Lattimore week, it's
sketchy.
In 11 years, he's 3 receptions for 20 yards. And ejected. He has more ejections.
More ejections than receptions at this point. But I mean, over those other options, the way Mike Evans is rolling, if there's ever a year he's balling out for that new contract, Baker's giving him the rock. Damian Pierce sucks. Mike Thomas could get locked down by Carlton Davis too. So. With the risk of the corners, I'd rather just ride with Evans and how he's been. So yeah, I'm going Evans there.
I don't know.
You're gonna go Damian freaking Pierce, Mike Thomas?
No, I know. I mean, there are no other options, but I just could see that being a complete dud.
I'm lower on Evans than I am most. I've been +5 ECR every single week on Evans at least. Yeah. This is one of the few weeks I'm actually more in line with the ECR. I do worry about that matchup, but when these are your other options, there are no other options. You're going Evans there, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Eli's explaining the trade. Yeah, Evans and B-Rob for Ekeler. I love that. Yes, that great deal. I think you're selling high on both B-Rob and Evans, and I like Evans. I don't think it's this is a mirage. I think he's going to have some other good games, but B-Rob especially, so game flow dependent right now, and the Commanders just in bad matchups like today. I have to start B-Rob because of Ekeler being out and because of Saquon being out, but I don't want to. I think you definitely made out here, especially because you have good depth as well, to consolidate that. B-Rob's in that same kind of Kyron, Gibbs, A. Jones. Eckler's a step above them all. So good upgrade with those receivers too. I mean, yeah, well done, Eli. Great trade.
Yo, so Tony, morning fellas, pick 2 of these. Tank Dell, Ford, Judy. I'm sitting Judy here.
Me too. Easy. Yep. Next one.
Brandon Uthman, morning fellas, PPR, start one of these. Start 1 running back and 2 receivers. Herbert, Zeke, Gus, or Justice Hill, and then Thielen, Daddy, or Hollywood. So 2 receivers and a running back.
I would go of these running backs. It's gross, huh? Sorry, Brandon. I don't mean to insult you, but you're rolling around in the mud here. I kind of like Herbert. In close games, he's gotten about 60% of the snaps, 67% actually. So I do think this one stays close, and I think Herbert I don't want either of those Ravens guys against that ferocious front 7 of the Browns. Zeke revenge narrative is interesting. I get that, but I'm going to go Herbert here. What about you for the running backs? Then we'll get to the receivers.
I think I'm going Zeke.
Yeah, it's not the Ravens. I know that. I'm with you there. You going Zeke? Yeah, it's like Herbert's not. I can just see Herbert having the better chance at breaking a long one today. So I'm gonna go Herbert. But yeah, and then for the receivers, Daddy versus Thielen.
Just sit one of them.
Yeah, it looks like we got a couple super chats from Campanelli's messaged in. So let's jump ahead to those. So we got Mark Gonzo sending us the $5 super sticker. Awesome, thank you so much. Try to see, you want to see if you can track.
He's right above it. I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Pierce or Roshan, Judy or Nico, pizza or cheeseburger. Roshan for me. I actually love Roshan today. I like him better than Herbert, honestly. And then, what do you think about that?
I mean, I'm going Nico over Judy. That one's the easy one for me. I love that match against the Steelers. I think he just dominates. And then Pierce versus Roshan is tricky. I like Roshan today. I don't know if I like him more than Herbert. I like him when they're going to be playing down and he's going to get the pass work. And I do think he eventually takes over the backfield. Yeah, I do hate Dameon Pierce. Like, Pierce just sucks. It's just a good spot, though. The Steelers have given up the third most points, I believe, in the top 5 match. I know it's a green matchup. Man, that's tough. I think I'm going Dameon Pierce. I don't like it, but I just don't. It's the Bears. It's a split backfield and a gross thing. What if Fields kind of takes over and rips some touchdowns himself today? So I'm going to go Dameon Pierce, and I'm going to go Nico Collins there. And in terms of pizza or cheeseburger, it's got to be pizza. Like, I mean, I love burgers. Don't get me wrong, but pizza just at any time, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I guess you can have a burger at any point of the day too, but no, you could.
I'm a pizza guy myself. And,
I love pizza. Yeah, a good pizza you can't beat. And then Lee gave us a super chat as well, right?
Yeah, I just had that one. Oh, you got
there. We are. With Watson out, need a QB Dimes. Oh, you know which way I'm going. It's Danny Dimes. I know. I get it. 2 of his 3 games have been horrendous. They've also been against 2 of the best defenses in the league, in the Cowboys and the Niners. So when you can play the Danny Dimes game right, it works out big for you. 30 points in his only game against non-great defenses, and the Seahawks have given up the most air yards per pass attempt on the year. So I think it's a big Dimes bounce back spot. Screw Russ. I don't want anything to do with Russ like ever. I know this is a good spot for him too, a good matchup, but I don't trust him ever. So I'm going Danny Dimes over Russ pretty easily. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I'm never Russ.
Never Russ. Yeah, exactly. Very, very rarely Russ. All right, so we left off.
I'm in the area 1 second.
Yeah, I am too. It's I see that
we just had Brandon, so it's Krana Shah.
Speaking of pizza, favorite toppings on a pizza. Great question. I love I might have mentioned this on the show once. A place called Riverview near us does kielbasa on pizza. Very rare to find that, but man, that's my favorite. Like when you can get kielbasa on a pizza. But if it's not kielbasa, I got to go sausage in general, just like the nice crumbled sausage as well. What about you, CJ?
If we're doing like traditional toppings, I'd say I really do like peppers and onions with mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then something weird, I like white pizza a lot, so I would go with like chicken and broccoli. White pizza.
Oh yeah, we used to get that white pizza down at Salerno's all the time. It was money. Yeah. That was delicious. Yeah. Great question. You had a good one on Thursday that I know me and the Truth had to blow through because we had a crazy mailbag for the rapid fire. Remind me what else you asked on Thursday, because I think we ignored that one and I feel bad. So we're always asking good questions, Kron. I love
it. Thomas Medina.
From Panama.
Buenos dias, Lobo. Should I keep flexing Brees? My other options, Eli Moore.
I mean, it sucks. I don't want anything to do with anything attached to Zach Wilson. It's tough to know what DTR is going to look like today as well. So I guess you keep going Brees, and you just hope they ride Brees tonight. He breaks a long one against the Chiefs. I'd go Brees over Eli, I guess, but I don't love either. What about you, CJ?
I feel like there should be better options out there. I have Brees on my bench, and he's been there since week 1. But yeah, I guess I'd go Brees over Eli.
Yeah. Tough, Thomas. But thank you. Tuning in from Panama, baby.
Prana Shah, White, Pierce, or Achane. And then PPR, DJ Moore, Josh Palmer. And then Mostert or Myers.
So definitely Mostert over Myers. Achane for me over those other two guys for sure. And I would go DJ Moore over Palmer. I like Palmer. I'm very intrigued by him. Good spot for him today too. But give me DJ Moore in that good matchup. If both are in good matchups, I want to go with the elite talent there. So what about? Do you disagree with any of that? Achane, DJ, and Mostert?
No, Mostert's of course a lock, and then I'd probably. I kind of like Palmer, honestly.
Yeah. Over Moore? I mean, yeah, it's close. It is. But I'm going to do DJ Moore. I feel pretty good about it.
Moore is a little more safe, but I do like Palmer too. Yeah. Lucio Ranelli, half PPR, flex, Mixon, Stevenson, Pickens, Collins.
I'm going to go Mixon. Pickens would be next up if you're worried about that Tennessee run D, which you should be. It's a good run D, but I like Mixon there.
Yeah, we're off the Stevenson bandwagon today, and I'm not picking Collins or Pickens over. Krana, which defense? I have the Jets. Other options are Vikings, Bengals, Chargers.
Yeah, not the Jets against the Chiefs. No, I would go Bengals. I feel pretty good about the Bengals against the Titans. I saw some, and Keegs wrote it up about how the Titans have given up like the second most sacks, and the Bengals have recorded the second or third most. So it seems like a great mismatch there to exploit. So I like the Bengals there.
Yeah. Thomas Beaumont, Josh Kelly or Addison as a flex, 12-team standard.
I got to go Addison. I'm done with Kelly. Like we said, it's the classic simulation, 2 games of duds from a shitty running back that then goes for 2 touchdowns later today. It's how it goes. It's going to happen, and I still can't recommend him. I don't want anything to do with Josh Kelly. He's a turd. So give me Addison.
I always love Addison. Austin Furster, league said that I was in collusion with another player. Here was the trade, Ken Walker last week for Waddle. Then they lost it with a Christian Kirk for Pacheco this morning. Response.
To me, I think that's not even close to collusion, and vetoes are so dumb. Walker and Waddle. Do I prefer Walker? Probably at this point. Waddle's still a great receiver. I mean that there's nothing these aren't unfair trades by any means. Do they favor one person? Yeah, trade always does. But just because one person is the quote unquote winner. So yeah, I think it's ridiculous if your lead's calling that collusion. That's not even close to collusion.
And then Kirk for Pacheco, that's pretty even too.
It's similar. I'd rather add Pacheco, I think, but
so that means he received Pacheco, I believe. So
yeah.
That's fine. No. Brandon Uthman, full PPR, need a flex between Mike Evans and Javonte.
I would go. Oh, this is a good one. That's a good one. With that Lattimore wrist, I think this is where a good measuring bar for what I would do with Evans, and I think I'd bench him. I think I'd go Javonte here.
Yeah, sit Evans today.
Yeah. I'm not forcing Evans at the bench, but I think Javonte is a good enough option to do it. I would go Geno over Fields, and I'd go A-Rich over Geno.
She screams Jody. Since Watson is out, should you start Cooper, Myers, or Collins? Cooper, Myers, or Collins?
She screams Jody. What a name. I would go Cooper still over Myers. I really don't know that DTR's a downgrade over Watson, who's looked really bad most of this year. And Cooper just getting peppered. So I go Cooper there. Cooper over those guys. Yeah, I do. What about you? Do you think Cooper over those 3? I think so.
Yeah, I'm going Cooper. Steven Hernandez, good morning, flex PPR. Aiyuk, Cooper, Mostert. Gotta keep rolling Mostert.
Keep rolling Mostert, baby. Running back 1 in fantasy. You can't have him on your bench.
Brandon Uthman, I know. Why don't you play him at actual running back instead of flex? If he deserves to get moved up to the running back slot.
Yeah,
Brandon Uthman, I feel like I'm on the chopping block this week in my Guillotine League. I need to start 2 running backs in a flex, standard scoring. Herbert, Zeke, Kelly, Breida, Tutu.
Yeah, if this is your team, you're definitely on the chopping block. I'm shocked you're still alive here. These are your running backs? Good God. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'd go Kelly here. Kelly and Breida. Breida probably starting.
Zeke over Breida. Breida's horrible.
I would go Herbert over Zeke then. I don't know. You are on the chopping block, Brandon. Good luck. I like Tutu for the flex. He's like the only player in this list that I kind of like actually. The rest is just garbage. So yeah, I got to get Barkley out of my rankings. I just realized. Let me rank Breida. Why don't you pull up the next question? Let me rank Breida real quick. I think I'm going to go Kelly and Breida, knowing that Barkley's likely out.
I'm going Zeke, Kelly, Tutu myself. Steve Hernandez, Swift or Mixon full PPR. Got to keep rolling with Swift, especially full PPR.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Swift over Mixon. Yep, I'm with you.
Matt B, hey guys, need PPR flex help. Pick two of these: Javonte, Lockett, Sutton, Thielen. I swear everyone has the exact same question too.
I'm going Javonte and Lockett there.
Yep. Luke M, Zach Moss, or Miles Sanders.
I gotta keep riding. I'm riding Zach Moss still, even though a little bit less touchdown equity. I
mean,
still
he's
got
getting treated like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
the snap share is absolutely disgusting. Mike Clay, Flex, Garrett Wilson, Javonte Williams, Roshan Johnson, Charbonnet. I'd probably go Javonte. The Garrett Wilson thing's just so sad.
Yeah, I'm going Javonte there. Yep, I agree. So sucks to bench Garrett Wilson, but this is the week to do it. Yeah, it sucks.
Follow up with the Roshan news. Is he starting? I didn't see that. Would you start him versus Broncos or over Pittman or Mostert? Definitely not. Enough with the Mostert questions.
You got to go Mostert or Pittman, 100%. What is the Roshan news though? Is he starting? Like, is that official? But either way, it doesn't matter. Like for this question, so I'll go to the next one while you look that up. But it would be good to cover. But yeah, I'm still going.
No, it just says the expectation is he'll get a gradually enhanced role.
Yeah, that does. That's so good, yeah. In that offense, woo. So yeah, no, Pittman and Mostert, 100%. Pierce, Javonte, Brees, pick one. Definitely Javonte for me, Mike Clay, over those other two. Downgrade Cooper with Watson out, a little bit maybe because we know it's been working, even though Watson looked bad. But DTR is a good option as well, so I'm not too worried there. All right. I'm just updating the rankings real quick. Do you mind taking the next one, CJ?
Yep. Eric need one running back and one flex. Kyron Stevenson and Achane, receiver, Lamb, Flowers, Devonta. I'm going one flex, one receiver. Are you going Achane over Kyron? I feel like that's a decent. Like I feel like they'd be ranked close in your rankings.
I'm going Kyron over Achane. Just 100% of the running back snaps. Solid spot today. So I'm going him, and then you got to go CeeDee Lamb. Like, yeah, you're not benching CeeDee Lamb. So I'm going Kyron and Lamb here. Achane would be my next option out of all the rest of them. Oh no, Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Devonta.
So I would rank them.
The Patriots do pretty well taking away the number ones.
CD roasted us though. We play so much man coverage, and I saw something CeeDee Lamb is really, really good against the man coverage. So
Gonzo CB1 lockdown.
Yeah, he's been great too. That's right. But I'm still playing CeeDee Lamb today. I'm not benching him.
Yeah, now. I'm going Kyron and CD along with you, with Devonta slightly behind. The bearded RN.
He's always tuned in. I love the bearded RN.
Start two running backs: Moss, Cook, Ford, Pierce, Stevenson, Williams. I'm going Cook and probably Moss just from the touches standpoint.
Yeah, I love Moss today. Even with Richardson potentially stealing that, I'm going Cook and I'm going Moss here.
Yeah. Campanelli, pick one of these running backs. Jalen Warren, Kelly, or Mixon. Got to go Mixon there.
Yeah, I'm going. I think the two you're already starting are definitely the right call there, Campanelli. But yeah, Mixon over the other two, absolutely.
Dimes or DTR?
Dimes. Seahawks matchup. If Dimes doesn't do it this time, then I will admit this is a horrible call on my end. I'm not giving up yet. This is the Monday night game that he's gonna remind us. I have 30-point ceilings. Like don't freak out. It's his Dimes. This is Dimes.
I'm gonna look everywhere for DTR and 10 touchdowns. It's gonna be very juicy. Yeah, Campanelli stash Akers or drop him for Zeke or Keaton Mitchell.
I'd
rather have Akers, I think.
Yeah, I'd rather have Zeke is close though. I mean, this role is growing. He's looked pretty good, and I think he's going to get a role this week. But yeah, Akers could take over that Vikings backfield. Madison has not been good. I think Madison's in a great spot this week, and if he doesn't get it done against Carolina, one of the worst run Ds in the league, Akers could be looking at the lead back role in a really good offense. We've seen this narrative with him before, so I prefer Akers if it's just stashing. I think Akers is the play here.
Another Danny Dimes question. Dimes or Anthony Richardson? Gotta go Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. I definitely go. And I love Dimes, but A-Rich for sure. Absolutely.
This is a funny bit of news. The Bears are looking to trade Chase Claypool for a 5th or 6th round pick. What a horrific trade that was. Oh my god.
Awful trade. And who's going to even give up a 5th or 6th pick for that piece of garbage?
I have no idea. I know, especially when it comes to
about his coaching staff, doesn't play well. He had that one humongous game as a rookie, and he really hasn't done any. He was okay as a sophomore too.
And receivers in the Steelers offense, they're very good at drafting, so it's everyone really succeeds in that offense.
Right, exactly.
Steve Hernandez, Purdy, or Burrow, PPR?
This is a good one. I think I'm gonna go with Burrow. Unless you just needed the floor, Purdy is safe. You're gonna get 16 to 20, no matter what with him. Burrow definitely has a lower floor than that, but I just do think this is the Burrow coming out party. Off the injury report, said he felt good after throwing it 49 times on Monday. Mm-hmm. I could see this being a 300-yard, 3-touchdown, Burrow's back, baby type of day. That's what I'm feeling. What about you, though? This is close. It's definitely a floor-ceiling play, but I really do like Burrow.
I can't bench Burrow for Purdy.
No, not when you're facing one of the worst pass defenses in the league, too, it's...
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you there.
Perfect.
Biohack Gaming. Flex, Sutton, D-Hop, or Nico, full PPR.
I would go Sutton there. Sutton versus Nico's. I think I'll go Nico. I go Nico.
I'm going Nico. Yeah, full PPR.
Yeah, I love that passing game. I know he had a down week. I do think this is Tank Dell as the number 1 receiver now, but Nico's still a great number 2 there, and he's had a great season other than last week's.
I know we talked about it earlier. This Gabe and Nico thing is going to annoy me so much because I'm going Gabe, but I can definitely see it just a typical Gabe.
I go Gabe. I do go Gabe. I feel good about Gabe there.
Nicola, take a chance and play Deebo or just start Tutu Hopkins or
Update for the Crusaders yesterday, by the way, Nicola. Oh man, I think I still go Deebo. Yeah, I go Deebo over those guys. Tutu would actually be my next one up.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tutu would be next up.
But I still go Deebo. Yeah, I trust Deebo.
YEC half PPR need 1 Kelly, Charbonnet, Chuba, or Gainwell.
Oh man, Kelly. I hate it, but at least you're getting 70% of the work and 70% of the snaps. The other guys are all kind of backups. I will say I love Charbonnet right now. In terms of stashing, he looks good. I think they're going to start working him more and more and more. And then it's especially if something happened to Walker, he'd be a top 6 guy. So I love what Charbonnet's doing. I think it's great you have him, but all these guys are just pure handcuffs right now, other than Kelly, who's starting in a good matchup. And like we were saying, 2 bad games in a row, probably going to mean he blows up today, of course. So yeah, I'm going to go Kelly there. You feel okay about that too?
Yeah, I can't. These are all committee gross backs.
Yeah.
Kelly will get the snaps with. Mike Clay, ESPN, Cleveland or Baltimore defense with Watson.
That's been facing each other here. Who's home team? Is that Cleveland today? I think Cleveland's the home team.
I think it's Cleveland, yeah.
I think DTR is a baller. I don't know that this offense is downgraded with DTR. I really think he's solid. And you're a big DTR guy too.
It depends on Stefan. Are they gonna run a normal playbook, or are they just gonna be pussies and just run the ball 100 times?
They might. They very well could.
Although if they can run him a bunch of times, that's he's a better runner.
They could, yeah, exactly. I think I lean Baltimore here. Yeah, it's tough. I like them both. I mean, it's a defense question too. Defenses can go any which way. I like Baltimore. I think for the big play opportunity with a backup QB. Whereas Cleveland's been such a good defense, they also haven't been overly opportunistic either, and they haven't put up a ton
they're
of
just not letting up points, but they're not.
No, exactly. They're not a great fantasy. They're a good fantasy defense because they're limiting teams so much, but they're not blowing up scoreboards. Whereas the Ravens feel more likely to have that pick 6 or that that big turnover. So I'm going to go with the Baltimore defense there.
Kristen Mann, Fields, or Danny Dimes?
I would go Danny Dimes. I know this is the Fields bounce back narrative week, and it should be. I have more faith in the Danny Dimes bounce back. What do you think?
Sad.
It's
more
sad for
sad.
both. I know.
But we need a straight up trade. Fields for Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, exactly. So get Fields with Atlanta. I love that rumor. Like I thought that was a great. That'd be an awesome landing spot for him. It's a run heavy team. They've maximized his mobility. They don't. Doesn't matter that he doesn't throw off in there. I think that'd be perfect. I would love to see them get Fields. That would be awesome.
I think I'm going Fields in this discussing game, just like kind of how we talked about how it could shoot out, which I kind of do now. I'm like kind of thinking about it. It may shoot out. I don't know.
It really could. Yeah, the Broncos can keep pace. Fields. It really comes down to how does Fields play, and it looks so inept that I don't want to trust that. I like Dimes. I really think that Dimes, that Seahawks game.
Yeah, it's at 46 and a half. It's pretty high.
Yeah, I'm going Dimes. CJ's going Fields. Sorry we couldn't be a little more consensus for you there, Kristen. Good luck.
Omar, Josh Kelly worth the play over Rashad White.
Nah, I don't love White, but with a battle of two slugs, Rashad White looks at least a little bit better. More passing game involvement right now too. So I'm going to go Rashad White. I don't. Like we said though, this is the classic Josh Kelly. You trust him for 2 weeks, does nothing for you. You bench him or you cut him, and he goes for 2 touchdowns. Like we know it's going to happen. Yeah. You're at the game. That's a tough one, Nicola. Yeah, tough loss indeed. But Army next week. I think my buddy Brandon is going down to that game. Yeah, they got to beat them. They got to get the season back on track. I love my Crusaders this year.
Kristen Mann, need one of these in the flex. Pacheco, Warren, Dotson, Hall, Woods, Ertz. Are you still believing in Dotson, or are you done with him?
I'm off. I don't think you cut him yet because I just still believe in the talent and maybe that eventually wins out. They're just targeting the tight end position at such a ridiculous rate there. I got to go Pacheco with these guys. It's kind of all garbage to me other than Pacheco against a very good Jets defense. But overall, if you're going to get points against them, it often comes on the run. He was playing, I believe he played well over 50% of snaps last week with Mahomes. And then, towards the end of the game, they benched all the starters and Pacheco kind of got that rest treatment. I like Pacheco here. I think he's the best play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. It'd probably be Pacheco and then Hall, I guess.
I did see something that the Chiefs have been interested in maybe tossing their hat into the JT sweepstakes. Imagine that. Oh, my God.
I hope he just stays, honestly.
He'd be great in the Colts system, what they're running right now, but if anywhere would be better, it would be the Chiefs. I mean, or Miami, of course, too. But,
we just had this question, but from someone else. Purdy, or do we trust Burrow too?
I trust Burrow. I do. Purdy is safer. There's no doubt about it. If you just want your 16 to 18 points, like Purdy, he's going to get you that. Crazy, isn't he never lost a start, and he's thrown at least 2 touchdowns in every start? I mean, it is just as high floor as it gets with Brock Purdy. But Burrow against that Tennessee pass funnel defense, I cannot get off of that. That's, to me, a beautiful spot off the injury report. I think that offense is ready to rip.
Yep, and that is it.
Man, an early mailbag ending. Wow. I know we got that late start probably contributed to it, but you know what? I don't even hate it. Like it's a good day to get our stuff ready. We'll probably sign off in 10 minutes anyways. So early sign off. We'll be back live with the 7:45 tonight recap show. Me and the Truth early week 5 waiver wires. All the lessons you need to take away from today's action. Come on in 7:45. We'll be live breaking that all down before the 8 p.m. game tonight. The Wolf and Fancy Sheep guys, be the Wolf. Best of luck today. Hope you dominate.
See you, Wolfpack.
End stream.